Unfictional stories. Sooner or later, it happens to everyone. These are the letters no one expected to write.
I want to be clear about one thing before I start. I am not the kind of person who picks up hitchhikers. I grew up with the specific parental warning that gets installed in you at around age 16 and never fully uninstalls. You don't stop for strangers on the road. My friend Tomasz, who was driving that night, has the same programming. We've known each other since university. We are both in our mid-30s, both responsible, both the kind of people who would normally drive straight past. The thing I keep coming back to is that we didn't discuss it. Tomasz just stopped. It was October, 2 years ago. We'd been at a colleague's birthday outside the city, a house in the countryside, the kind of evening that goes longer than planned. We left around midnight. Tomasz was driving because he'd had less to drink. The road back was empty. 2 lanes, flat farmland on both sides, the occasional cluster of trees catching the headlights. The kind of road that exists specifically to remind you how dark the countryside gets at night. We saw her about 40 minutes outside the city. She was standing at the edge of the road, not quite on the shoulder, more at the boundary between asphalt and verge. Young, maybe mid-20s, light jacket, dark trousers, a small handbag. The kind of person who looked like she belonged on that road, in that part of the country. Not a traveller, local. She had her arm out, thumb up. Tomasz slowed before I said anything. I want to be precise about this because it matters. I didn't tell him to stop. He didn't ask me. 2 men in their mid-30s, midnight, empty country road. We both understood the calculation. We'd both been raised with it. And yet Tomasz moved his foot from the accelerator to the brake as if it were the only possible thing to do, and the car rolled to a stop on the gravel. She got in. She thanked us quietly and said she was going to the next village. That was it. We didn't ask anything else and she didn't offer anything else, and the 3 of us settled into the particular silence of people who don't know each other, sharing a small space at midnight. She sat behind Tomasz. I half-turned once to say something, I don't even remember what, and she answered briefly and politely, and I turned back around. She had that quality of someone who is simply waiting to arrive, contained, unhurried, not nervous, which I noticed because she probably should have been. 2 strange men, empty road, middle of the night. She wasn't nervous at all. The next village was maybe 15 minutes further on. When the first houses appeared at the side of the road, she said, quietly, without leaning forward, "Here is fine." Tomasz pulled over. She got out, said thank you, closed the door, and walked away along the road into the village without looking back. That was all. We drove on. The accident was maybe 10 minutes later, still before the city. We hadn't even reached the outskirts yet. Police lights first, then the amber glow of an ambulance. The traffic slowed to a crawl. A car had gone off the road on a long, flat curve, front end into the ditch, one wheel still turning slowly when we passed. 2 officers, an ambulance, the specific organized chaos of a scene that had just happened. I almost didn't look at the verge properly. We were nearly past it when I did. A young woman sitting on the low barrier at the side of the road. A paramedic crouching in front of her, foil blanket around her shoulders, light jacket, dark trousers, small handbag on the ground beside her. I looked at Tomasz. He was already looking at the mirror. I need to be careful here. I did not get out of the car. We were past the scene in seconds. It was dark, it was late. A light jacket and dark trousers is not a description. It is most of the women in this region on a cold October night. We had dropped her in the village 10 minutes back. She had walked away. It was a different woman. Tomasz didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. We drove the rest of the way in the silence of two people who have the same thought and have agreed, without a word, not to say it out loud. I looked up accident reports from that night. I found one on that road around that time. A car had gone off the road on a curve. The driver was treated at the scene. The report said he had swerved to avoid a pedestrian. No pedestrian was found. Name withheld. City withheld. October.
You just heard one story. There are hundreds more. Ordinary people, unexplained moments, real letters. If something happened to you, something you've never quite been able to explain to yourself or anyone else, we're collecting those stories. Email us or use the form on our website. Everything in the description below. Unfictional stories. New episode every week. Sooner or later, you'll have a story too.